Hey there guys, welcome back to Titan Quest Let's Play, and in this episode we'll be fighting Typhon. Right, so first of all gotta check through our gear, and here I've decided to replace these, put our old braces back on because of the strength bonus. See, because our strength was a bit low and I think it's not good really for it to be that low. The only thing we're losing is poison resistance, which we shouldn't really need too much in this stretch of the game. So yeah, gonna get going. And there'll be a variety of enemies you have to fight before you fight Typhon, just in this, low Olympus part. The first ones are the skeletons and the lemurs. So this is already, it could feel already a bit tough because the lemurs, they drain health and everything, so they can be a bit of a challenging enemy, especially if your vitality resistance is low. I mean, this is already the first sign that you need vitality resistance in this stage, and you don't need to have necessarily overly high amounts. Like as I mentioned previously, 40% is enough. That's what we've got right now, 40%. Alright, and of course you could use anything that gives bonuses against the undead or demons, because the undead, that would be skeletons, and the demons are the lemurs. So however, around here you getting some automatons. These are the constructs, so you already got a different monster type already. And these guys, as you know, they have immunities to stuff such as bleeding, poison, vitality damage types. So you pretty much got to smash them with brute force, really. I mean, this little stretch, it pretty much tests you in every regard, just to see if you're really prepared to fight Typhon. I mean, you got a variety of different monster types here, each one challenging a different aspect of your build. See, now here we've got some minotaurs, and with them I would highly advise you to actually lure them bit by bit like this, because if you go in fight them all at once, you could get surrounded. And I mean, our character is a defense oriented character, so they might be able to be okay. But if your character is like a glass cannon, like a mage for example, then they could get stumped down pretty fast, and you don't want that. So yeah, luring them is a good idea. See, another group around here. Let's get the small ones out the way. They have the horn stab attack, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that attack does percentage health reduction on you. So if I'm not mistaken, this is another aspect where vitality resistance becomes useful. And I have no idea why I've cast Spellbreaker there. I probably thought they had Onslaught, but no, they don't have Onslaught, so that's good. They not as powerful as the big Minotaur Lord who we had to face in the labyrinth. I think just a handful more left. Just one guy, really. And you see, slow effect works on them really well. So slow effect works really well on most monsters pretty much. Now here the Cyclops, they're the last ones, and they're pretty tough. Because, see, they keep spamming that shout attack, and that does massive health reduction. Massive percentage health reduction, so vitality resistance is really useful here. But even with that, they have a way to slow you down and everything. So you really want to, not let them do that. See, if you stand on the lower step of the stairs like this, whilst they're on the higher step, their shout attack actually will miss a lot of the time. So that's one of the good things you can utilize. Fight them on the stairs. See, it just goes right over your head. And then you can of course do other things like stun them, slow them down, like we've been doing, with Thunderbolt, trying to stun them, and with our current weapon we keep slowing them down and they keep attacking really slowly. There we are. And beat this guy as well. The other guy is getting a bit of drink of water there. I think just a couple more left. I love that laughter, that evil laughter that Typhon does. It's like taunting the player, Right, so you can always, predict their attack animation. You can look when they're about to shout, and you can just walk around them. That works as well. It can be just hard when there's 2 or 3 of them at a time. That's why. Right, one more guy. Okay. Now, Olympus Summit. Before we proceed to the Olympus Summit, we're gonna stop here, take a little breather, check our gear. Right. One of the things I wanted to swap, are the leggings, because my Obsidian Greaves, they give very little armor. So I put these ones for more armor, and also some more defensive ability, we see here, because these would be very useful against Typhon. The only thing we're losing on is piercing resistance, and that's not really that needed for Typhon. So yeah, we're gonna make this exchange just for now, just for this boss fight, and then we'll put it back on in the Act 4 perhaps, although we'll need new armor pieces for Act 4, that's for sure, because Act 4 is really brutal. Alright, I decided not to put anything on them, so because I couldn't find anything good enough, but this should be alright. And if you notice, we actually lost the sound again, which is a bit annoying, because this is like the epic part of the game, and we now don't hear the cool epic battle music. Well, never mind. So we've gone to Colossus Form now. That's, you know, pretty nice thing to use against bosses, so gonna start off with that. And if you notice, the moment I entered, Typhon put his spikes on, so that wasn't that good. And see here, he's drained my energy, and instantly the Colossus Form went down, so that's another thing you should be aware about. Another thing that I actually haven't noticed here is it also disenchanted my Storm Nimbus. I only noticed it later on in the battle, and see, these things you gotta be always watching out for them, because when he sucks your energy dry, it pretty much causes all your buffs and enchantments to wear off instantly. Alright, so let's break down his attacks. I mean, he's got quite a lot of different attacks here. I mean, like the common ones, he sucks your health and he sucks your energy, so that's why you need the vitality resistance for the health drain, and the energy leech could be useful as well, but I don't think it should be a priority, because you can always just chug an energy potion, and energy potion restores your energy instantly, so yeah, that's probably secondary importance. The primary importance is the health drain, because if he drains your health, not only is he taking a chunk of your health, he's also healing himself, you know, and I mean, this bugger has so much health already, you don't want him to healing himself. So yeah, vitality resistance is like one of the most important resistances against him. The other important resistance is fire, because as you probably noticed, he keeps doing the fire breath attack a lot, and although that's a really easy attack to dodge, sometimes, you know, it does land on you, and if it does land on you, it does a colossal amount of damage, so you want to have fire resistance. Right. Yeah, see, when he does these spikes, he puts his spikes on, that means he's gonna reflect some of the damage back at you, so it's not a good idea to attack him during that phase. Like, at the moment you see his spikes go on, just walk away, just walk around, heal yourself, you know, buff yourself, do whatever you want, and then once the spikes come off, which is usually around 10 seconds, you can, you know, get yourself back. And we still got some shrines here to use. These shrines, I think they only last around 30 seconds, so less than the usual ones. Another thing, if you notice, whenever you move away too far from him, he starts utilizing his lightning bolt attack quite a lot. But then that lightning bolt doesn't do much damage, and it's you know, it misses more than it actually hits. You know, Typhon's not exactly crack shot. You know, he's not Ornstein after all. Right, and oh well, I haven't mentioned his most important attack, perhaps, is the whole meteors falling from above. That is his most deadly attack. You know, that's the attack you want to avoid at all costs. Never stand underneath the meteors, because 99% of the time it will be a one-hit kill. I mean, if you got, there are chances you will survive it. Like if only one of them hits you, like for example bounces and hits you, it'll just take a chunk of health. But if you're standing underneath it and every single one of them hits you, you're gonna die. So the moment you see him raising his hands up, you know, he makes it really obvious. You know, he telegraphs that move really obviously. So the moment his hands go up, you know, and they aflame like this, then the meteors are gonna fall, and they're gonna fall on your exact position. So all you have to do is just simply move out the way. It is possible to avoid this attack actually. If I'm not mistaken, if you've got 100% chance to avoid projectiles, you can stand underneath those meteors and none of them actually will land on you, because the game considers them as projectiles. So that is one of the ways to avoid them, but getting 100% chance to avoid projectiles is very hard. You know, even on legendary, once you've gotten, you know, really good gear, it's still quite hard to achieve that. So yeah, that is pretty much all his attacks in a nutshell. The only one I haven't mentioned is the little poison projectile he does sometimes, but just like with the lightning one, that does very little damage, and it misses so many times. I mean, it probably will hit you 1 out of 10 times. Yeah, see? Because if you keep moving all the time, that projectile is no way is that gonna land. Right. You can of course use these statues as well as cover. They actually provide nice cover. Though don't count on them too much. It's always good to keep moving around. You've got to be really defensive in this fight. Don't try to, you know, just tank your way into it. Like, don't try to just keep hitting him offensively, because in terms of sheer power, he's stronger than you. So unless you've got, like, you tweaked your character to hell, you know, you're not gonna outpower him. So you've got to be, you know, really tactical here. Actually, if you notice, he does do regular slaps at times. That's why I said you need good armor for this fight, because his regular hits actually do quite a lot of damage. And if any of your armor pieces has very low armor, like, some of his hits will actually, you know, deal a lot of damage to you. I mean, look, even without good armor, he with one hit deals something like a quarter or a third of our health bar. So that's another thing, you know, is every attack is pretty much is a danger in its own way. We almost got him now. There we go. Just make sure you bring tons of potions so you can outlast him. I mean, look, we've got 26 potions left, and we started with something like 60. Although we've used up some of them on a Telkin and on a stretch, but even then, if we start with 50, that's like we used at least 25 potions on him. Well, there we go. We've beaten him, and Zeus is giving us his speech, which is blocks half the screen, and Typhon, the dick that he is, hasn't given us any good gear. He's given us a bunch of Act 2 and Act 3 relics. Actually, not even a bunch, it's only 3 of them. Alright, well, no good gear, but whatever. We'll find something. I mean, we're going to be going into Act 4 now, and that's going to be really brutal. So, come on Zeus, hurry up. We ain't got all day. Not that we can hear him anyway, because the sound is gone. Well, okay. So, to finish off, you just head out to this portal. If you had a vanilla TQ, you would obviously finish the game, but if you've got Immortal Throne expansion, you're going to be going into Act 4 here. You'll appear pretty much right here, Temple of Apollo. See, it's got Rebirth Fountain, so you appear straight away here. We'll stop here for now. If you notice, we haven't died yet. We've done first 3 acts, haven't died, which is good. Though this is going to be a lot harder to keep up in Act 4, because we need to do a lot of defensive and offensive abilities, and we're still level 32. That's actually impressive. We've beaten Typhon level 32. Well, we'll deal with skills and everything else in the next episode, so I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.